Hey, thanks for being here. I know life's full, and the fact that you're carving out a few minutes just to sharpen your leadership, I respect that. You know, every time a conversation drifts and you don't take the lead, you pay a price. You lose respect, you lose the sale, you lose the woman's interest, you lose control of a room. You even lose time, letting the moment just bleed out while you freeze up, smiling, nodding, pretending it's fine. Those moments when you've been mid-conversation actually connecting with someone, and out of nowhere a dog crashes into your leg, or someone walks up yapping about tacos, and the moment evaporates. When you try to bring the focus back and suddenly you sound like the angry gym teacher that no one invited, it's not helping. This video is going to show you how to guide the conversation back to connection, whether you're at a gathering in the park, talking to a friend, or flirting with someone new. I'm going to teach you a 4-step framework for magnetic conversations without sounding like a control freak, which is kind of like peeing in a public bathroom and talking to someone through the stall. You need boundaries, you need presence, and just enough humor not to lose the moment entirely. So let's start with an example and watch this more than once to really feel the nuance underneath the words. Imagine you see someone you're drawn to, okay? You say, "Excuse me, this might sound a little bold, but the way you move just caught my eye, and I want to say something to you. It's weird, it's important, and it requires that I have your whole focus for the next 90 seconds. Can I borrow that?" She says, "Yes." "Perfect. Take a breath with me." Make eye contact. Here's what hit me. The way you carry yourself, it's got that kind of confidence that it comes from deep self-trust or just the right amount of chaos. And so I'm standing here trying to figure out which one is it? And if I keep talking to you, how much trouble am I going to be in? That's all I have to say for now. Now, this might sound like, oh, it's got to be a pickup line or a script, and it's so smooth. How do I get this to go? It's just 4 simple steps. Let's break them down, and I want you to hold conversations magnetically with ease. All you got to do is really feel the vibe, and it's the V.I.B.E method. So V stands for validate the moment, I for invite them in, B for bring your truth, and E for exchange and exit. So let's start with the V, the vibe. This is validating the moment, which requires some empathy and then matching and leading them to where you want to go. Think about this as if you are tuning a radio, right? Before the music starts, you get the static, right? We need to clear that so that the real connection can come through. So examples of this are like, "Hey, I know there's a lot going on right now," or "I can tell your attention's split." Totally fair, right? Another one, "Excuse me, forgive me for interrupting you." I've done this before in a group of people in a car. Like, "Hey, I know we're all having different conversations." This moment really helps people to feel seen, and before you steer them, it's like we're preparing their nervous system. So once we've given that empathy, seeing the moment, we want to lead them, right? So I know we've been bounced around a bit, but I'd love to go deeper on what you said earlier, right? Before the dog ran up, you were sharing something real. Can we circle back to that? Now we've acknowledged the moment and we started to lead them in a direction. Step 2, invite them in. This is where you really set a boundary and you ask for their consent to participate. So think about this like, you're dimming the lights, setting the candle up. We're going to set the vibe so they know how to play. So examples of this. Let's just slow this down for a second. Or what if we could treat this as the kind of conversation that for 5 minutes itself, it shifts our whole week. You want to set the tone with them and not at them. An example of this is if I say, "Don't interrupt me when I'm talking to you," at them, with them, let's create a moment where when one person's speaking, the other person can really listen so we feel safe. So if one of us wants to add something in, we can raise our hand, raise our eyebrows, just a nonverbal cue. You up for that? And that's where you get the permission piece coming in. Like, hey, would you be open to a more intentional conversation? Is now a bad time to talk? All of this is getting a yes. And that yes creates the container so you both can really trust and lean in. That's the inviting them in. Step three is to be or bring the truth in the V.I.B.E method. Think about this as like being on the magic carpet ride. It's your share. It's your curiosity. It's your challenge. It's your compliment. It's your story. Make this personal, grounded, and real. I like to think here it's where I have the mantra of like, check this out, right? I talk a lot more on this in another video, so look for those videos. Okay, E, the fourth step is exchange and exit. We're talking appreciation, we're talking closure, we're talking passing the ball, okay? Think about us right now, we're gonna pass the mic instead of dropping it. You know, think things like, that moment really mattered, right? Thanks for holding this space. You know, that's what I wanted to share. And then a question, right? What did that spark in you? How's that land for you? You don't just drop wisdom or playfulness and then walk away. You want to engage, invite them to share with you, right? Great conversations are co-created. So don't end on a monologue, end with a question or some kind of incomplete idea. You know, that really intrigues me. There's something that makes me think about, what is it? Let's give you some more demonstrations. Let's say you're at the park and you see some people, you have some friends, and you want to have your friends be able to connect with you. So, hey, earlier you were sharing something that really felt important. You know, before the golden retriever decided to baptize your leg. That's the validate, right? Can we come back to that? That's now my invite. Yes, they're in, permission, okay. I'd really like to hear the rest. Let's take a breath first to get present. You were saying you were tired of like faking it in your work. Now I'm bringing my truth. What's the conversation, the connection? Yeah, I'm here for all of it. What do you got? Boom, my exchange and exit. I've acknowledged, set them up. Let's now talk about a dinner, a business dinner. Hey, folks, real quick, I know we're all having great conversations and it's been all over, right? Validating, statements of empathy. But I'd love to anchor us for a few minutes on something that's deeper in the room. And I'd like to name it. Are you in? Now I've made an invite and I've gotten their consent. Yes. Okay, they say yes. All right, cool. Here's what I have been sitting with. What's coming up for me as I see all of us together? There's your truth, what you're seeing. John, you look like something's coming up. I see your eyebrows raising. Will you share? Now I've passed the mic. I've given you 3 examples now. Rewatch the video. Steal the language if you want. Make it yours. Play with the formula. Get this versus just my examples. That's the real medicine here. And inside of this, what you're going to recognize is there's not just the words, but there's how you say it. Your voice, your gestures. Don't bulldoze people with your truth. Say it like you're offering a gift. Not like you're throwing a flaming frisbee. Ha! Your tone of voice really matters. A great example of this is when you're going to offer something for sale, right? You drop the price. If you say the price and you're like, I'm a very honest and direct person. So I say, you know what? The price to work with me is $35,000. You think it's straightforward, but they feel it like a punch in the nose. So instead, what you want to do this, and this comes from Chris Voss. He's an incredible teacher. He says, the price to work with me, it's like $35,000. Totally different vibes. It's like, it's a lot of money, but it's totally worth it, right? Play with your voice. Don't lead without permission. I want you to be really aware of this. This is one of the main points when you're thinking of things to watch out for. Do not lead without them enrolling into it, right? Even a rhetorical, like, can I say something kind of wild? This works so much better to get their attention first instead of rushing in like a motivational speaker on Red Bull. Right. Secondly, don't joke when someone says something real. It kills trust. It kills trust. I want you to realize that. Imagine someone answering a FaceTime call during a first kiss. No. Instead, breathe, soften your voice, let your eyes smile, even when your words are direct. You know, that sounds like you're going through a lot. Example. So let's recap the framework of what we're up to here. V for validate the moment, when you have an empathy statement that matches what's going on and then paces them towards it. I, you want to invite them in. You want to set the vibe, get consent or permission to share. B, bring your truth. Lead the moment with your share. Then lastly, the E for exchange and exit. You want to appreciate and engage them into it. These conversations are like sacred invitations, wearing the disguise of small talk. If you guide them well, people won't just like remember your words. They'll remember how they felt around you. So comment below which of these 4 steps you're going to try this week. If you want the full cheat sheet of this, then comment V.I.B.E cheat sheet. We'll send that off to you. Lead softly. I want you to speak boldly. And when the world gets loud, be the one who brings gravity. We do this work in my weekly storytelling classes with my students. And if you want to join us, reach out and we'll see you there.